Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Kahtide stream. How are you doing out there, folks, today in Meat Space? Let me get me over there. Hello. How you doing out there, everybody? Oh, wait, I'm not in my studio. Hang on. Let me switch to my studio view here. Oh, nope, wrong one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Oh, wait. Intro scene. Forgot the intro scene. Fuck. Oh God, I'm scatterbrained today. Hey everybody, welcome to the Kahtide stream. It is Coffee with Kahtide today. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Oh my God, I'm gonna admit it. I just woke up like an hour ago. I'm still all floppy woppy, drinking my coffee, getting ready to get sloppy. Hope you're doing well today. Coffee with Kahtide is a show where we discuss the most up-to-date news and pop culture, and where I answer questions and offer advice to my audience. You're looking for a taste of what's going on in the world, you've come to the right place. Now, before we get to the show, you can find me on a lot of lovely social media websites, including Tumblr, Instagram, Blue Sky, Mastodon, YouTube, and X. Feel free to follow me there. I also encourage you to join the Discord community. You can see the link down there at the bottom of the screen. Lastly, if you're enjoying the show, well, not lastly, there's a few more things. So one thing, I also work as a game dev, so if you're interested in looking at my game dev project, you can go check it out at salvedevelopment.com, S-A-L-V-E development.com. Lastly, if you're enjoying the show, please consider following and subscribing. I also appreciate any contributions made through my Koffee link. Your donations and subscriptions help support the show and all my creative efforts. Oh, that's the intro plug. Sorry again for being all wibbly wobbly, but I'm gonna get right into the show here. Whoop whoop whoop. I'm gonna give myself a couple of face slaps, and I'll be ready to go here to tell you all about the news, the pop culture, and everything else. And speaking of news, let's move on to our current events. Let's see what's going on today in the current events section.
It's time for the news. Let's hear it, Kahtide.
Oh boy, okay. It's time for the news, everybody. How you doing? You've been looking forward to it. You've been eagerly awaiting the news, and now it's time to learn about all the sad and horrible things that have been going on in the world. Let's start with a local news, not well, local enough. We're talking about the Trump case recently. Let's pull this link up now for you. Here we are, baby. I'm pulling up some links right now, but we're going to be talking about DA Fani Willis's testimony over her potential misconduct during Trump's case. I don't know if you've heard about Fani Willis, but she's the DA on one of his cases here. And one of the participants in the case is related to her relationship-wise, sexually-wise. Apparently, they bumped uglies. Let's see here we go. We'll start with the Hill here. Fani Willis wraps up testimony and disqualification hearing, and we'll play the clip in a minute, but I want to give a little context on this one here. So Fani Willis completes her testimony in a fiery hearing over whether she and her office should be disqualified from prosecuting the 2020 election interference case involving former President Trump in Georgia. So there was a top prosecutor on the case. I forget what his name is. Oh, yeah, here it is. Nathan Wade. He's a special prosecutor. They apparently had a bit of an illicit relationship back in the day. Let me see what sort of interrelationship they had here. Let's see. Willis and Wade, who testified earlier Thursday, remained firm that the relationship did not begin until early 2022 and that said it ended in summer 2023. Prosecutors both said they met at a 2019 judicial conference and bonded as jurists of color, but shared a mentor-like relationship at the time, not a romantic one. Hmm. However, an longtime friend of Willis's contradicted their testimony. Robin Yearty, who met Willis in college, said she had no doubt. The prosecutors began seeing each other romantically in 2019 after the conference. Interesting. So they just kind of go into some more details on some of their relationship stuff here, talking about, paying for vacations as a couple, believing that, Wade's income was the reason they were able to go on trips, testifying they both split the costs. Um, And at a hearing Monday, it looks like Judge Scott McAfee said the allegations against Willis and Wade could result in their barring from the case. That it's clear disqualification can occur if evidence shows an actual conflict of interest or the appearance of one. So I do want to clarify, they are on the same team, technically speaking. So they both are on the prosecution, from what I can tell. They are trying to get Trump. They are trying to nail him to the wall. So it's not really a conflict of interest. I mean, if you're bumping uglies with your teammates, that just means that you're like really tight with your team. That doesn't mean that you're helping the other team, I don't think. Anyway, let's watch a clip here, see what they have to say. I think this is actually from Fanny.
To come into the courtroom right then.
There were people I was pacing in my office.
Okay.
And I heard someone yell, "His testimony is done." It only made sense to me that I would be your next witness. And I've been very anxious to have this conversation with you today.
Oh, my.
I ran to the courtroom.
Did you listen to any of the arguments?
I did hear the arguments this morning. It's ridiculous to me that you lied on Monday, and yet here we still are.
Once the motion was filed, did you meet with Mr. Wade and talk to him about the motion that I filed to disqualify you?
On this first January motion?
Yes.
I don't know if you can say talked about. I probably had some choice words about some of the things that you said that were dishonest within this motion.
My
so I
God.
don't think it was a conversation. As you know, Mr. Wade is a Southern gentleman. Me, not so much.
Oh my goodness. She is not happy about being put on the stand right now. You can tell, like, for Spotify listeners who can't watch, she has like the most fuck you eyes. Like, she's like, I'm going to kill you if I ever get the chance kind of eyes. Like, you are an asshole and I am going to really make this a bad day for you here. She's not happy, and I can tell, but I want to see what else she has to say, because boy, she is interesting.
Let's start back in 2019.
Yeah.
So
actually, one thing I wanted to point out, I think if I'm not mistaken, she appointed the guy. So it's like, why did you appoint the guy? Like, if you knew this might be a problem and that they're going to dig into it. I mean, it is Trump. He's like one of the like most newsworthy people on the planet right now. Why would you bring a guy in that you bumped uglies with? I don't know. That's just my take here. I'm not saying that she's like wrong or did anything wrong here. I'm just like, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
You and Mr. Wade met in October 2019 at a conference?
That is correct. I think in one of your motions you tried to implicate I slept with him at that conference, which I find to be extremely offensive.
Oh my.
I stayed at that conference. Mr. Wade was my teacher. I did not meet him when he taught the class.
And when did you start dating?
When I started dating Mr. Wade, it was right around then.
April 2020?
22, yeah.
2022.
It was around then. I don't know, like, it's not like when you're in grade school and you send a little letter and it says, "Will you be my girlfriend?"
I'm asking if you took a cruise in October 2022 with Mr. Wade.
Yes, and his mom.
And his mother. That's
whoa, what? Hold on. Wait, you took a cruise with him and his mom? That's a weird cruise.
But he paid for the flight and the cruise on Royal Caribbean that time.
So yes, he paid. He is the original one that does it. He has something called, Mr. Wade is a world traveler. I'm not as versed as him. He's been to 6 of the 7 continents. And so he has both a personal travel agent and he also has a cruise travel agent.
What?
I wasn't asking about his travel agent. I was just asking if he paid for those.
He did not, though.
Okay.
Because the reason I consider that he did not.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like we're getting to the minutia, but there's some weird stuff coming out of this. Like, why do you have a travel agent and a cruise agent? What? Who has a travel agent and a cruise agent? Oh my goodness. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Yeah. I mean, there's his. I mean, her father apparently went on the stand too. I mean, we can check. Let's see what he has to say really quickly. We'll see what he has to say.
Case against former President Trump.
All right.
This Fulton County hearing could determine the future of that case. For a second straight day, Judge Scott McAfee heard evidence on allegations that DA Fani Willis financially benefited from a personal relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, who she hired on the case. Now, Trump and several co-defendants are trying to have her removed.
It is a lie. It is a lie.
After more than 2 hours of surprise, fiery testimony yesterday, today, the state declined to call Willis for cross-examination.
I have one daughter, Fani Willis.
On the stand, Willis's father, John Floyd, pressed on what he knew about her relationship with Wade. At issue, when that relationship began, before or after she hired him. Wade and Willis said it was after.
Did you ever meet Mr. Wade in the year 2019?
Absolutely not.
How about in the year 2020?
Absolutely not.
Also a focus, the issue of cash, which became central yesterday when Willis said that's how she would reimburse Wade for their vacations.
It's a black thing, okay? You know, I was trained, and most black folks, they hide cash. And I've told my daughter, you keep 6 months worth of cash always.
Now, the question for Judge McAfee, will Willis be allowed to remain on the election interference case?
What's at stake?
This is so silly. Like, why are you picking on her for like putting cash aside? Oh, you're paying for things in cash? Oh my God, who cares? It's legal tender. Why are you concerned about it? What's your problem with it? Why does it even matter how she's paying him back? They're on the same team. They're on the same fucking team. So why does it matter? Who cares? It's not like he's the defense attorney and she's the prosecutor and they're working together to collude. They're on the same team. They're both prosecuting Trump. So it doesn't really make any sense. It's really just picking at things to try and probably give Trump anything that he can possibly use as leverage to stop this trial from going forward. You know how he is. You know how he gets. I mean, speaking of which, keeping in line with this news story, there's not much more to say about that, I don't think, besides, girl, what's up? But keeping in line with that, Trump opts against Supreme Court appeal on civil immunity claim over January 6th. Now, even though he's pushing on this Georgia case, he is dropping a Supreme Court case because he has no legs underneath him for this fucking immunity case. So I'm just pulling up a couple links for some context for us here, see if we can have any. My link. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, looks like here. This was on the 16th, they reported here on NBC News. Lawsuits seeking to hold Donald Trump personally accountable for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol can move forward, for the former president chose not to take his broad immunity claim to the Supreme Court. Now, we've been hearing about this for God knows how many weeks, about this immunity bullshit. I've been immune, people. I've been the president. When I was the president, I was immune from all crimes, all of them. Yeah, even though he's apparently dropping his appeals court case, his spokesman says President Trump will continue to fight for presidential immunity all across the spectrum. It's not really about presidential immunity or about the law. It's just about saving his own skin, as is always the case with this guy. Civil lawsuits against Trump are separate from the criminal case against him that also arose on January 6th. On Monday, Trump asked the justices to put that case on hold on immunity ground. But then, of course, that didn't go through. The U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia rejected that argument, ruling that Trump was acting in his role as a political candidate running for office, not as president. Very interesting distinction there. You know, he was campaigning, I guess you could say, for his next term with his base when they were doing all that bullshit. I guess you could say that. Let's see here. The court did add that when the cases move forward in district court, Trump must be afforded the opportunity to develop his own facts on the immunity question in order to show he was acting in his official capacity. So apparently he's going to try that angle instead. We'll see how that goes. Let's see here. This was on the 15th where he was making that final pitch here. Did he say anything special on that? I mean, there are overwhelming reasons why the case should not go to trial in 3 months or less. With any other defendant, it would be virtually unthinkable for the case to go to trial so soon, and wildly unfair to do so. Yeah, he's This is cut and dry, baby. I mean, we know what's up. We know what he did. He knows what he did. He's just fucking grabbing at every last lifeboat that he could possibly get his grubby mitts on to hold him up. Awful times. Awful times we live in. Am I right? Oh boy. Speaking of awful times, well, here's some more awful news. Maybe not awful necessarily, but annoying. Biden visits the wrong Palestine. I hate this. Fuck you. Stupid ad block. I hate ad block. Love it. Anyway, Biden visits site of Ohio train derailment more than a year after the toxic disaster. He is in East Palestine, Ohio. Not the right Palestine. I mean, it's good that he's visiting this Palestine, but I think he should be visiting the other Palestine. Maybe he should see a little bit about what's going on over there. But anyway, it's fine. He probably wouldn't remember it anyway. It would probably just fall out of his head if he visited. Anyway, we have a clip here. He's talking a bit about the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. It's been a year. Crazy times. I didn't realize it's been a whole damn year since that train derailed. So let's watch him.
You know, I want to thank the folks of East Palestine. I want them to understand that we're not going home no matter what till this job is done. And it's not done yet. There's a lot more to do.
Is he crying?
The majority has been done.
I think he's crying.
We're going to stay to the very end. Every need is met.
There's like shiny shit on his cheeks. I think he's crying.
Norfolk Southern accountable. Make sure they make your community whole now and in the future. And what they do not make whole, what they cannot make whole, what isn't made, the government will make whole. We have an obligation. We have an obligation. I can already see this derailment won't define you. It just it defines you in a different way. Your courage, your resilience to this community, and the compassion that you've shown for all your fellow citizens. Let me be clear. While there are acts of God, this was an act of greed that was 100% preventable. Let me say it again. An act of greed that was 100% preventable. We were pushing the railroads to take more precautions, to deal with braking, to deal with a whole range of things that were not dealt with. Norfolk Southern failed its responsibility. We know multi-million-dollar railroad companies transporting toxic chemicals have a responsibility to do it safely. And again, Norfolk Southern failed. My administration was on the ground within hours, working closely with the governor, the mayor, the senators, the House members, community leaders, to make sure you have everything you need. My administration ordered Norfolk Southern to clean up the mess it created and ensure it was done right. That includes an executive order I signed to continue our priority to hold Norfolk Southern fully accountable for this disaster and any long-term effects that are able to be identified as time goes on.
To be fair, I'll give him credit here. To be fair, he did work really hard behind the scenes, him and his administration, to work with the rail workers to try and get some sort of better deal for them and to try and reduce these issues on the back end. So that is a thing that did happen. You can really tell they don't let him out very often. He is struggling to get that message out there. I mean, he's not wrong. He's definitely not wrong. It is absolutely 100% preventable. This could have been prevented. Norfolk Southern is really responsible, as is just about every other rail yard, company or corporation, like transport company that's in this game. They all work together to try and reduce regulations, to try and strip out, valuable vacation and payment from their employees, and they try and pack as many fucking cars onto trains as possible to make as much fucking profit as possible, with as little concern for human life and for damages as you can possibly have. Yeah, looks like he went to go visit. He's doing his campaign ramps, he's doing his campaign ramp up right now. So obviously he's going to be doing his visits and showing off his work here. I do not understand why this president, wants to continue being president. Does he think that he has to be? I feel like he thinks he has to be, personally. I think he sees things like this going on and he thinks Trump's never going to solve this. Trump's just going to let this happen. He thinks that he despite his age and his failing mental acuity, thinks that he can do a better job, and that other people in his party probably can't do a job. That's my theory. At least. I think he thinks that his party doesn't have the kind of like, I don't know. I don't think he sees like. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. I don't think. I mean, personally, maybe this is my own viewpoint, but I don't think the Democratic Party has anybody to put forward as like a good candidate to rally behind for president. And I think he sees that too, and I think he feels like he needs to do everything he can to make it happen, stay as president, even though he's not doing anything, or he's not helping really. He's definitely making things worse. Frankly, his support of Palestine is really tanking his ability to be supportable as a president, in my opinion. Yeah. So, well, that's kind of where we're at here. He's visiting the derailment, doing his campaign stops. I don't know what else to say about this one. I mean, he's right, but I don't like hearing him say the right things because I wish I could just unequivocally dislike him. There's a lot of shit that he did wrong. I don't know what to say. That's about it. Let's move on to something else here. Maybe some good news, actually. We actually have maybe some possible good news here. There is a lawsuit that is going on right now against the NRA, the National Rifle Association in America. And let me tell you, it appears to be going pretty badly for them, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look here. This is why I pull up like 3 fucking links, by the way. It's because like half of them are like, oh, you got an ad blocker? No, I'm not gonna deal with your ad blocker bullshit. No, thank you. Here we go. NPR reports lawsuit accusing NRA of lavish misspending now heads to jury. That's definitely not something you want to hear when you're a big organization like this. The NRA and its ex-CEO were caught with their hands in a cookie jar, a lawyer with the New York Attorney General's office said Thursday at the conclusion of a civil trial, accusing the gun rights group's executives of wildly misspending millions of dollars on private flights, vacations, and other lavish perks. Shocking! Isn't that shocking? Oh my god. So an organization headed by a bunch of executives. Oh shit, it's Plague Dr. Man. Hey, welcome to the chat, Plague Dr. Man. Glad to see you here on Coffee with Kahtide. We're talking about a lawsuit going forward that is going to be hitting the NRA, accusing them of lavish misspending. I don't know if you're familiar with the National Rifle Association, but the former leader, former CEO Wayne LaPierre, and a bunch of other executives were caught with their hands in the cookie jar, spending millions of dollars on private flights, vacations, and other lavish perks. And I was just saying, how shocking is it? How shocking is it that an organization headed by a bunch of people that are hate mongers, that are spreading a belief that the average American needs to have an armory's worth of weaponry to keep them safe from immigrants, from black people, from crime, quote unquote. I don't know. How shocking that these hate mongers would be found out to be taking advantage of the very people that they're riling up, using all of their money to fund their exquisite lifestyles. I have personal investment in this, by the way. My dad is a lifetime member of the NRA. He got a lifetime membership. He donated enough money to be a lifetime member and to have a lifetime membership with them, to never have to donate again. So my dad paid for these motherfuckers to go on vacation and to go and hang out and fucking whatever, Cancun or some shit, Bahamas. Oh, here we go. Here's the list, by the way, where they went. Let's see here. State lawyer said at the trial that LaPierre, who announced his resignation just days before the trial opened in early January, billed the NRA more than $11 million for private jet flights and spent more than $500,000 on 8 trips to the Bahamas over a 3-year span. They also say he authorized $135 million in NRA contracts for a vendor whose owners showered him with free trips to the Bahamas, Greece, Dubai, and India, and gave him access to a 108-foot yacht. That's 33 meters for all of you non-US people. Whoa, the National Rifle, insert final word, I forgot the full thing, Association. We're assholes? I would never have guessed. Actually, it's assholes. The National Rifle assholes. Oh my goodness. Oh, by the way, apparently LaPierre says that he claims he hadn't realized the travel tickets, perks, and other things counted as gifts. How How would that ever fly? How would that ever fly? Apparently his lawyer, P. Kent Correll, is arguing that LaPierre's use of private flights was necessary for safety reasons, given his prominence in the contentious gun debate. So is it because it's for safety, or is it because he didn't know it was a gift? Plague says, I say this as someone who loves guns and finds them incredibly interesting, yet also believes no citizen should own them. Here's the thing. I think that okay. My take here is that if you're looking for a gun organization, don't go to the NRA. There are a bunch of local organizations in America. There are a bunch of leftist gun organizations in America. If you're looking for more of a leftist organization and not a conservative like mouthpiece, there are organizations in the States here that you can join. You can go to gun clubs and join gun organizations and be a part of them. Fuck, I've got like a little air rifle myself. I'm a gun owner, you know. I'm not like crazy. I'm not a crazy NRA guy. Like, I think they're cool and I have them and I want to do target shooting and like that's it. And like there are people that just want to do that. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be some weird political thing. I mean, it can be a leftist thing. It doesn't have to be a right wing thing either. If you like that angle, I mean, I think it's very good to form like to know your local leftists in case some shit goes down, you know. I think that's cool. But, you know, you don't have to join the NRA. The NRA is a fucking mouthpiece for the gun lobby. It's a mouthpiece for gun like gun manufacturers. It is a mouthpiece for the Republican Party. In some ways it's also like not like the Republican Party is a mouthpiece for the NRA. I mean, it's a synergy. It's a kind of I scratch my back, I scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of situation, I think. Plague adds, I think guns are cool, but I like the mechanics of a gun and how they work, and I just think nobody should be able to just buy a minigun. Yeah, exactly. It's like, here's an example. I love typewriters. I think typewriters are awesome. But I'm not going to encourage everybody to go out there and write like inflammatory, awful shit with that typewriter and like talk about how, the people that have typewriters that aren't like us are racist. I'm not going to go out there and be like, oh, all these immigrants are taking my typewriters and writing shit that I don't like. I don't like that. No, that's not what I'm like, you know? And I'm also not going to go out there and take a typewriter and smash someone's head in with it, you know? I don't know. Maybe this metaphor is going a little off the rails here, but anyway, all I'm trying to say is that you can like guns and you can like the mechanical aspect of guns and target shooting, and I think that's awesome. But the NRA is not in the business of appreciating that sort of thing. They're in the business of making people buy guns and making people afraid so that they can buy guns. You can own a minigun if you pay $300 a month license or something, an actual minigun. Oh yeah, totally. No. I mean, why do you think that there are so many videos of like YouTubers going out to like gun ranges in the middle of Nevada and there's like a tank there and like a minigun and a rocket launcher? Because you could just own these things in America. I mean, you can build your own flamethrower in some places and just have a flamethrower if you want. I mean, there are manuals for building flamethrowers out there. I'm not kidding. Like you can go, I'm not kidding. I've literally gone to like a military surplus store and they've got fucking manuals on like military tactics and shit like that. Like, hey, you want to learn how to like organize a guerrilla operation? Here, take a look at this pamphlet that you can buy at the fucking corner store. Awesome. Like, all this stuff is just laying around here. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm going off on a tangent now. Anyway, yeah, so there's a lawsuit going on. We got an ad break, by the way, incoming, folks. If you're watching live on stream here in 30 seconds, if you want to avoid that ad break, consider subscribing to the channel. Every subscription that you give me puts dollars in my pocket, lets me provide more news, more gaming content, lets me make video games as well. So if you're interested in supporting that work, consider that subscription. Really means a whole lot, and you'll get some cool perks. In fact, I'm probably going to add some more animated emotes because I've got a couple slots that I need to do. Oh shit, I was going to add you as well, Plague. I need to write like, I'm so scatterbrained today. Okay, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to be like, let's give VIP to Plague. VIP to Plague. And do animated emotes. Yeah, baby. There we go. Oh, okay. Anyway, to move on from this point here that we're talking about here with Wayne LaPierre and the NRA trial, we'll wrap up with Plague's comment here. I think guns are cool, but people say that you need them for safety because other people have guns. Why would you need guns to protect yourself from guns if nobody had guns? Very, very astute point, my friend. Very astute point. And I'll leave off with one little factoid for you as well. Canadians are nearby neighbors. Canadians have more guns per capita, if I remember correctly, than we do. However, they have far fewer gun crimes than we do. Canada has a great gun culture. Why the fuck don't they have a bunch of mass shootings all the time? Probably because they don't have the NRA right on their fucking heels all the time. That stands for very important plague. VIP plague. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Oof. Okay. Let me queue up our next story here while this ad break is going. What are we going to look at next today? Is there any other good news on the horizon here? Oh, yeah, there is good news, actually. Oh, shit. Hang on. I'm going to pull up some good news. Okay. Give me a second to pull up the good news. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Kahtide stream. We're doing Coffee with Kahtide right now. We're talking about some good news now. I'm just pulling it up right now for you. Here we go. So, in a surprising turn of events in one of the gayest countries to ever exist, Greece finally legalizes same-sex marriage. Finally! You think one of the gayest countries of all time would have already had this taken care of, but nope, apparently not. A bill approved by Greece's parliament allows same-sex couples to marry and adopt children. Same-sex parents hailed the move as a historic moment for the country, reported by DW.com. So on Thursday, they voted in favor of the bill. It looks like 176 lawmakers out of the 300-seat parliament voted in favor for this in a cross-party majority. That is amazing. Yes, that is amazing. I'm so glad for them. You never hear this stuff because, boy, are we in like a backslide these days. But it's really great to hear that at least some countries are starting to move forward progressively here and providing some rights and recognition for same-sex couples. I think that's awesome. It makes this the first Orthodox Christian country to legalize a same-sex civil marriage, which is actually, I didn't realize that's probably why they haven't done it yet. And they are the 16th EU country to legislate marriage equality. It's really good that they extended these parental rights too, by the way. I think that's almost one of the more important things. Like, so many couples like have children and don't have the ability to take care of their children and raise them the way that they're supposed to because laws like this, and I think that's really fucked up. Blake says, I love going on Firefox and only seeing news about sad stuff really helps my mental health. I know. I'm like, I do this like every week. I take a moment. I'll like comb through all the news and like find all the important news stories, and like 9 times out of 10 it's just like, oh, it's just something sad. But sometimes I do find some good news here, which is really nice. Now, of course, these laws don't cover everything that we should be having covered. For example, the law doesn't allow parenthood through surrogacy for male couples, which is an option available to women who cannot have children for health reasons. That's a bit of an oversight. I hope they fix that soon. Yeah, it looks like the bill was supported by many lawmakers, including from the center-right New Democracy Party, along with 4 left-wing parties, and including the main opposition party, Syriza. This law doesn't solve every problem, but it is a beginning, said Spiros Biblias, an openly gay lawmaker for the small left-wing Passage to Freedom Party. Hell yeah. I'm so glad for them. Look at how happy they are. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, a total of 254 lawmakers have voted. In principle, on the draft law, 176 voted yes, 776 voted no. Hell yeah. I think it's so good. I'm glad. We need some good news like this, because boys, there are a lot of downers these days. But good job, Greece. I'm really proud of you. You did great. Really awesome stuff. Keep it up. Let's keep it gay. Let's get it gayer. Fucking like Thebes. You were doing it. You were doing it like the real ones back in the day, and now you're doing it again like the real ones back in the day. Back in the day, I don't know if y'all know this, but like some of the Theban military units were actually male couples that would like train together and fight together, and the belief was that that they were stronger combatants and they would support each other better because they had a romantic relationship together, and they They had a strong bond, and it seemed to work because they were very well respected. Wait, why is this being fucking auto-modded? Shut up, auto-mod. Super gay is absolutely allowed in my mod, my channel. Greece was super gay. Thank you. Yes, Greece was super gay, and that was good. That was great, in fact. And now they're taking it back. They're taking it back. You know, the rest of the world got a turn, and now, hey, Greece is coming back, and they're going to be gay as hell. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, that's some good news. Let's see what else we've got on the on the whole ticket in terms of regular ass news, regular ass day-to-day news. Let's see. Automod, you're silencing the truth. It's true. Automod is silencing the truth. We do have some more news, though. More sad news, sadly. Although I don't know how sad it is necessarily, but it is interesting news. So, recent Putin foe and opposition leader Alexei Navalny was found dead just a day after being shown to be alive and well and in good spirits. There's not a lot of information out there right now about how he died, as far as I'm aware. It says they say he lost consciousnness during a walk, if I'm not mistaken. Like a walk, he took a walk and then he lost consciousness. So Reuters is reporting this. West is apparently holding Putin and Russia responsible for this situation. It does look incredibly suspicious. Now, some people are saying that he was a hero. Now, as far as I've heard, he's not necessarily a hero. He is a big anti-Semite and was kind of a bit of a nationalist. Don't really know much about his politics, but I can tell you here that he's probably not the best guy, but he is definitely not Putin's guy. At least, at the very least, he's not Putin's guy.
In what may be the final video of Russia's opposition leader Alexei Navalny, he laughed with courtroom staff during an appearance from a penal colony north of the Arctic Circle on Thursday.
God, that is so
Russia's
Russian.
Prison service reported his death on Friday, saying he felt unwell after a walk at the facility in Karp.
Also, first of all, this place definitely looks like a Russian Siberian penal colony. Second of all, this guy was already poisoned once by Putin, and he had fled the country, and then he decided to come back to the country, and then was immediately arrested when he got back. So take that as context, by the way. Plague says, oh yeah, a ton of people are saying world wars are going to happen because of this, but that happens whenever Russia does anything. I don't think that there's going to be a world war after this. I think that this is just, par for the course with Putin. He's just cleaning up shop, But yeah, what the fuck? This guy decided, he got poisoned, he fled, he came back, and then he got arrested, and now he's killed.
Miles northeast of Moscow, where he was serving a long jail.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting. I'm going to back up the video slightly. I don't mean to keep interrupting, but this is exactly the same thing that Prigozhin did. Oh, sorry. Prigozhin was like, oh no, hey, Putin, I'm going to totally coup you. And then Putin was like, no, you're not. And then he was like, oh, shit, okay, I guess you're not. I'm gonna go live in Belarus then. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna live in Belarus and just stay out of your way. And I'm gonna have my private jet. And then what happened to the private jet again? I think if I remember correctly, didn't that private jet get fucking blown apart into billions of little pieces? Wasn't that what happened? Isn't that what happened? Didn't his jet completely explode and then crash into the ground and he died a horrible explosive death of some kind when he decided to just fuck with Putin? Isn't this what happens? Don't people know this? Oh, Plague says, dude, if I got poisoned by the actual leader of a country, I would be in New Zealand forever. Yeah, but I feel like, I'm not sure if this is true, but I feel like he got poisoned internationally. He wasn't even poisoned in Russia. I think he got poisoned internationally after he'd fled the fact. I think that's the case. I don't remember. I would need to fucking go through his fucking Wikipedia article to remember this. This is just hearsay from what I've been hearing from other people's streams and shit like that. But yeah, no. If I got poisoned by the leader of an actual country, I would not come back to that country. I would stay as far away from that country as I possibly could. Putin's literally got dudes that can go to Britain poison somebody. Wasn't there somebody in Britain 2 years ago that got poisoned and killed by Russian special forces? This guy is the main poisoner. Anyway, I'm gonna play this now. Sorry.
100 miles northeast of Moscow, where he was serving a long jail term. It said the 47-year-old lost consciousness almost immediately, and prison medical staff couldn't revive him. The team behind the former lawyer wrote on X that they were travelling to the prison site, but had no way to confirm the news. Hours later, Navalny's wife, Yulia Navalnaya, walked out to a standing ovation at the Munich security conference. She said she could not be sure her husband was dead because Putin and...
This is a weird response. I'm sorry, wait. This is his wife, so this is a weird response. Why are they applauding? I mean, I wouldn't... I don't know if I would applaud. I mean, I would maybe just stay silent. Why would you applaud? I don't really know why you would applaud for this. Like, yeah, your husband's dead. Hey, your husband's dead. Hey, woo! Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Conference. She said she could not be sure her husband was dead because Putin and his government lie incessantly.
Но если это правда,
but if this is true, I want Putin and all of his entourage, Putin's friends and his government,
его правительство знали,
to know that they will be held accountable for what they have done to our country,
они сделали с нашей страной,
to my family and to my husband.
И с моим мужем ответственность.
And that day will come very
I feel
soon.
bad for her, though. That does suck. Never good to have your husband killed.
Navalny rose to prominence more than a decade ago by lampooning the elite class around Putin and voicing allegations of corruption on a vast scale. He earned admiration from Russia's disparate opposition for voluntarily returning to Russia in 2021 from Germany. He was being treated there for what Western laboratory tests showed was an attempt to poison him with a nerve agent in Siberia the year before. The Kremlin denied trying to kill him and said there was no evidence he was poisoned with a nerve agent. In St. Petersburg, a makeshift memorial gathered flowers and supporters expressed their shock.
What calmed me down a bit was a thought that if he really died, his death will make his supporters and even people who just liked him a tiny bit stronger.
I mean, some people say that, but some people say, sorry, other people have been saying that maybe this is the death knell for any opposition in Russia. Because, boy, he has been taking them out one by one. Maybe some people don't feel like they can go up against him toe to toe at this point. You know what I mean? I wouldn't blame people for feeling like that, but also, I don't love him. I would want to oppose him.
I believe that the enemy of our country should be dealt with. The sooner the better. Glory to our world, freedom, and our president.
Okay.
Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters the cause of death was being established. He said that Putin is aware of his opponent Navalny's death as he toured factories in the Ural Mountains on Friday.
Plague says, I think we should call him Vladimir the Poisoner Putin from now on, so he sounds like a video game villain. Vladimir the Poisoner. You there! You will be subject to the whims of Vladimir the Poisoner. I think is a good name. I like it. Let's do it. Biden has a thing to say about it, too. Let's see what he has to say about it. Come on, Biden.
And outraged by the news. Reported death of Alexei Navalny. He bravely stood up to the corruption, the violence, and all the bad things that
all the bad
government
things
was doing.
All the bad things.
Putin had him poisoned. He had him arrested. He had him prosecuted for fabricated crimes. He sentenced him to prison. He was held in isolation. Even all that didn't stop him from calling out Putin's lies. Even in prison, he was a powerful voice for the truth, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. And he could have lived safely in exile after the assassination attempt on him in 2020.
Joe, speak a tad louder.
Him, I might add. But he was traveling outside the country at the time. Instead, he returned to Russia.
I still don't get that. Like, why would you come back? Why would you come back? The dude wants to kill you. He's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you the moment you step foot in that fucking country. I don't understand why he decided that this was the way to go. But anyway, let's move on. Enough of the bad news, enough of the sad news. It's time for us to move on to our next segment here for pop culture. We are at that time now. So let's do something more interesting. Not to say, though, that there aren't sad things in the pop culture sphere. But hey, we got to talk about those things too. So let's hop on over there.
Popular Culture Barometer. It's time for the weather reports.
All right, everybody. We're talking pop culture right now on Coffee with Kahtide. It's What's Poppin', where we discuss pop culture, the internet, streaming, and more. Let's see what's going on today, shall we? And we do have some big streamer news, a couple streamer things to talk about, as well as some other big time news. But the first one, and probably one of the big ones that people are talking about right now, YouTuber 2Mad found dead at 23. Very, very sad to say. For folks that have been in the know for a while, who are watching YouTube and streams and shit like that, you may be familiar with 2Mad. He is he's a pretty wild one. He was a wild guy. He's a Canadian content creator. He had 2.2 million followers on YouTube. I saw him a lot back in the day on like old streams for like fucking, what is it, like Austin Show and like, you know, like what was it, fucking Rochlers and like oh shit, God, what else was he on? Just all kinds of shit. He's dead. Yes, Plague. He is dead. Sadly, his name is Mudia Sadiq, aka 2Mad, dead at 23. Apparently, it occurred on the 13th, according to Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office, and according to TMZ, the YouTuber was found unconscious in his home last Tuesday night. A call was made to ask for a welfare check due to the mysterious and sudden disappearance of 2Mad, who had already missed several appointments in recent days. So yeah, he'd missed a few appointments already. It looks like they think it's probably an overdose. Although he has been making a lot of strange tweets over the past few weeks. He's been posting a lot of firearm pictures, or he was posting a lot of firearm pictures. So they think it might be suicide, possibly. Apparently, he had been active in Overwatch for several days, according to his Discord page. He was still logged in for hours after the announcement of his death, which is pretty crazy. Oh my god, I didn't even see that. Let's see. He started in 2018. Posted his last video in 2022. He moved on to other formats. He has 2.2 million followers. Yeah. What else is going on with him? And we got a video here as well we can watch.
Hello, YouTube. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call.
The YouTuber known as 2Mad has died.
2Mad, that's me. Let's go. You search right there. Look at this beautiful image of myself. He's vibing.
2Mad, whose real name was Mudia Sadiq, was a Canadian-born gamer whose popularity on Twitch and YouTube resulted in a large fan base with millions of followers across multiple platforms.
Yeah, I finally got my swag on. My swag is on.
2Mad created irreverent, fast-paced comedy skits for his fans, though he started in 2018 offering commentary on video games.
I'm loose. Now, get in the mood. All right, let me get in the mood.
In 2023, Sadiq was accused of sexual assault by another gamer, an accusation he publicly denied. The Los Angeles County Examiner
actually didn't know about
Sadiq
that.
Died on February 13th.
Why did they show these clips? It's had disrespectful. Yeah, I didn't actually preview this clip. Yeah, that was a little disrespectful. You know, a little like cartoon noises. Like, no, the dude died. Like he OD'd. Like, this is not great. Like, oh my god. Apparently, a fellow vlogger James Key claims that the late social media star tried to kill him and was a pedophile. Thanks, Daily Mail. Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, he had a really complicated life. He was a really complicated guy, and he did a lot of problematic things. And you know, I mean, love him or hate him, you know, it's not great to see some people like fall like this, and to see some people die like this. Really not great. Yeah, it sounds like he just OD'd probably. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, from what I've heard from other like content creators and stuff who have tried to work with him, he was like really hard to work with. He was really kind of a strange person to be around, and he was very like, he didn't open up very easily, and kind of just kept to himself and kind of kept into his weird patterns and stuff. And again, I don't know him. I never met him. Never. I only know what I've seen from my side of things and from watching him on streams and stuff like that. He was always really funny. He was very funny. I mean, I thought his like where he'd drop into like Zoom chats and stuff like that and act like a weirdo was really, really funny. But yeah, there's just probably a lot of darkness back there that we just don't know about, and maybe we'll find out about one day, maybe won't. But yeah, there's the news. Unfortunately, YouTuber Too Mad found dead at 23, died way too soon. Would have been better if he got his life together and you know, figured out what he wanted to do in life. But you know, things kind of break down like that. That is just kind of how things go. Let's see, what else do we got in terms of streamer news? We'll do something a bit more interesting. How about that? I haven't actually checked up on any of these, but the Streamer Awards did happen yesterday. QT Cinderella was hosting them. Really cool stuff. We're gonna look at and see what awards got passed out to people. I know one of them was Tyler One. He said they did not give a shit about his award. I couldn't care any less. Tyler One reacts after winning the Best Chess Streamer award at the Streamer Awards 2024. This guy's best chess right here. Anyway, yeah, let's look here. Let's see what the results and winners are on the Streamer Awards. Okay, for Streamer of the Year, naturally Kai Cenat got winner for Streamer of the Year. Not surprising. I mean, he had a fucking like mini whoa, God, what happened in New York? What, like, didn't like a whole crowd of people just like end up throwing down in New York when he was doing a PS4 giveaway? Also, yeah, that is hilarious. Isn't it hilarious that fucking Tyler One says he couldn't care less about his chess win? Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, yeah, Kai Cenat won. He beat out Quackity, Iron Mouse, Jinxie, and Case O. Oh, I'm gonna be angry if my boy Kahtide isn't on there. You're too sweet, man. If I ever got nominated for one of these things, I would probably be completely shocked. There was no way in hell that I'm ever gonna be nominated for anything like this. Yeah, I would be shocked if I had more than 100 concurrent viewers at one time. That would be shocking to me. I'm just gonna say it. But thank you for your vote of confidence. So Jinxie didn't get Streamer of the Year, but did get Gamer of the Year. Ended up winning that. Valkyrie got the Sapphire Award, which is for the best female/marginalized gender streamer. Very funny. I like that they lump in female and marginalized genders together, but whatever. Anyway, Legacy Award, Maximilian Dude. Definitely know about that guy. Man, that guy posts content all the time. Liam is the Streamer's Choice Award. League of Their Own Award goes to Extra Emily. I don't really remember what that is. Best Variety Streamer would be Case O. Beat out Ludwig, Foosley, XQC, and Sea-Dog VA. Best Just Chatting Streamer, that was Kai Cenat as well. Congratulations. Hassan was on the list, as well as Will Neff, Your Rage, and Pay Money Wubby, but Kai got that one today, yesterday. Best VTuber, Iron Mouse. I mean, that's not surprising. I hear about Iron Mouse all the time. Best Breakthrough Streamer, Jinxie. Jinxie got another award there. Best International Streamer was Quackity. Oh, yeah. Good job, Quackity. Let's see. Best Streamed Event, Creator Dodgeball World Championship. That was Ludwig's event. Good job, Ludwig, on that one. Plague says, as someone who only watches smaller streamers and also Doug, I know none of these people. Oh, I watch a lot of, I mean, I watch a few things. I don't watch all the biggest streamers, but I watch a couple of them. Like, I watch Austin. I sometimes watch Hassan and Will and stuff like that. So, not all of them. I don't watch WizKiff, or I don't watch Kai, for example. Although I'm familiar with a lot of these people. And I actually have made more of an effort to try and get as familiar as I can with people as I've been streaming more, so that I can be more involved in the understanding of what's going on and be more aware of the ecosystem and what people are doing, even if it's things I'm not on the level for yet. You know, I really should get involved in some small stream events though. If you know any good small stream events that people are hosting, I want to be involved with them, because I feel for example, Austin, Austin used to do Rochlers and shit like that, and battle royales and things, and a bunch of random newbies would get a bunch of clout off of that. I would love to do something like that. So if anybody knows of any cool events like that, send them over my way. I'd love to try out for them. Let's see. Maybe I should just do some research and see if there's any events. I'm gonna write that down on my list. Which, oh my god, I'm just adding so many things to my list now. Anyway, let's go through the rest of the series here. Name Your Price. Awesome show, got the win. Good job. Name Your Price. Congratulations on that. AMP apparently was the best content organization. Beat out OTK and Offline TV and V Shoujo. Best share channel and NMP lol. Best stream game of the year. Lethal Company, not surprising on that one. GTA 5, beating out GTA 5, Baldur's Gate 3, and Only Up. Best IRL streamer, Ginny T. Jinty? I don't know how to say that one. I think I've seen her before. I think I know who Jinty is. I think she's a Korean streamer, if I'm not mistaken. Quackity was best Minecraft streamer. Beat out Tubbo, Tina Kitten, and Foolish. Bonham for roleplay streamer. Nora Explorer for Rising Star. Best FPS was Tarek. Best Battle Royale was Let's Timmy. Hidden Gem, Everything Now show. Best speedrun streamer, virtual. Man, there's a lot of different categories here. Best fighting game streamer, Etoi. Best software and game development streamer. Man, I should get in on that. Holy shit. Pirate Software. I should do that. Man, I'm game developing. I should be game developing. Maybe I could get on this category. I don't know what you have to do. What does it take to be a compelling game developer on Twitch? Oh my god. Chess.com, best chess streamer. Lol Tyler won. I wanted to see what he had to say on that one, by the way. Did he say anything besides that? Guys, I promise I do not give a shit. I'm on a 3-game losing streak. I couldn't care any less. Hold on. Unmute that shit. Where's the clip? Give me the clip.
Guys, I promise I do not give a shit. I'm on a 3-game losing streak. I couldn't care any less. I promise I couldn't.
Dude does not give a shit. He does not care. He's too busy playing fucking League. This guy's a fucking addict. This guy is a fucking addict. He got a fucking award and he's a fucking addict. He does not care. Oh my god. That is so fucking funny. Okay, last 3 ones. Best strategy game streamer, Disguised Toast. Best MMO RPG streamer, that was Soda Poppin'. And last, best creative arts streamer, Rubber Ross. Good job, Rubber Ross. Good job. There's the rewards, everybody. Congratulations, folks. Also, Plague Doctor says, game develop these. I'm not going to finish this sentence. Finish it. Game develop these nuts. I'll develop these nuts. I'm going to develop so many fucking cool features on those nuts. You don't even know. You're going to have like 6-axis control on those nuts. You're going to be able to send them into goddamn space. I swear to God. I'm going to take those nuts and I'm going to integrate highly advanced cybernetic technology into them. And I'm going to load my AI into your nuts. And I'm going to be controlling your AI from the central core. Don't even hit me with that shit. All right. Speaking of sci-fi technology. Oh, we didn't see Kahtide on the Streamer Awards. What did I fucking say? I know. What the hell? Where's my nomination? Listen, if you want Kahtide to show up on the next Streamer Awards, you need to share the Kahtide stream with all of your friends. You need to tell everybody about the Kahtide stream. You need to share it. You need to get those links out there. You need to gift subs. If you gift subs, people will know my name, and we'll get on that fucking list. I swear to God, we're gonna get on one of those fucking lists. I'm gonna get on the fucking, like, I don't know, best fucking awesome cool dude list. Anyway, moving on to sci-fi news. Science fiction authors were apparently excluded from awards for fear of offending China. Oh, Plague says, well, okay, once I find friends, I'll get them in on this. Yeah, go get some friends, please, and then tell them about me. Anyway, moving on to the next story. Science fiction authors were excluded from awards for fear of offending China, apparently. Leaked emails show organizers of the prestigious Hugo Awards vetted writers' work and comments with regard to China, where last year's awards were held. Apparently that's a thing. Who knows? I mean, let's read more into it. I haven't learned much about this. I don't know what the situation is, but I mean, it just sounds like an extension of the usual Organizers of the Hugo Awards, one of the most prominent literary awards in science fiction, excluded multiple authors from shortlists last year over concerns their work or public comments could be offensive to China, leaked emails show, according to NBC News. Questions have been raised as to why writers including Neil Gaiman, R.F. Kuang, Jiran J. Zhao, and Paul Weimer have been deemed ineligible. I didn't even know this. Actually, Neil Gaiman is off the list? Oh, shit. I follow him on Tumblr. That's so funny. Yeah, apparently they're ineligible as finalists despite earning enough votes, according to information published last month by awards organizers. I wonder if he messaged about this. Because Neil Gaiman, I don't know if you know about this, but Neil Gaiman is like prolific on his Tumblr. He will answer so many questions. I swear to God, half my feed sometimes is just Neil answering questions. So he probably answered something about this, and I just have to go dig it out. But apparently emails released this week revealed that they were concerned about how some authors might be perceived in China, where the Hugo Awards were held last year for the first time. As we see here, quote, as we are happening in China and the laws we operate under are different, we need to highlight anything of sensitive political nature in the work, Dave McCarthy, the lead of the 2023 awards jury, wrote in an email dated June 5th. Oh, I love that guy. Sick Norse mythology book. Yeah. I'm not like a Gaiman head, but like I've heard he's got some good stuff. I know he's a competent creator. It's a shame that he's getting fucking barred from being recognized for his work because of things like this. Any work focusing on China, Taiwan, Tibet, or other sensitive issues, he added, needs to be highlighted so that we can determine if it is safe to put on the ballot. Oh my. He apparently resigned from his role in the awards last month, did not respond to a request for comment. In a statement on Thursday, the organizers said they were taking steps to ensure transparency to attempt to redress the grievous loss of trust in the administration of the awards. Let's see here. Last year's Hugo Awards, which unlike most literary prizes are run by fans, were held in October in Chengdu during the 81st World Sci-Fi Con. Scores of sci-fi and fantasy writers had signed an open letter protesting the location, which was chosen by voting members of the convention, citing in an open letter allegations of the abuses of the Uyghurs and other mostly Muslim minority groups in China that Beijing denies. Well, I mean, hey, that is a true thing. They did. They did, fuck with the Uyghurs. I mean, as far as I've heard, that is no longer the case because they've already completed their cultural genocide of the Uyghurs, and now that area has been fully pacified, as far as I'm aware. So that's not really a thing that's occurring anymore, but I mean, it is definitely relevant. Yeah, apparently, let's see here. Glasgow Worldcon apologized for damage caused by 2023 Hugo Awards controversy. This I don't remember, actually. Anyway, not going to go too much further into this. It's just a little story I wanted to touch on since I am a sci-fi aficionado. Definitely sad to see that this is the sort of thing that's happening behind the scenes. But of course, we live in this kind of multipolar world now where China and the United States and Russia are all vying for some sort of influence over the world. And I'm not surprised that this is something that's going on. I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock into awards personally, regardless. I'm writing a sci-fi D&D one shot right now. Oh hell yeah! Hey, that sounds like fun. I would love to play something like that. I love sci-fi. But yeah, it's not surprising. Look, China does kind of flex its muscles a little bit like this, and if you're gonna put your award show in China, you're gonna have to deal with this. That's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, like I said, I don't put a lot of stock in these award shows or anything like that, or award processes. It's very political. I feel like there's always politics behind, the decision-making process. I don't think it's really about merit necessarily, and it's more just about the political decision-making of the people behind the scenes, I think. Wait, Blake says, award ceremonies took my family from me. Uh-oh. Hey, what? That's, I don't know. Is that something we need to unpack here, my friend? Oh, boy. Okay. Anyway, not much to say about this one. Just wanted to mention it, bring it up, let people know about it. Where did they go? Where did they go? I don't know. Where did they go? Where did they go? Let's see here. What other news do we have here? Let's see. We've got... Why not? we'll touch on this one. Why not? I'm not a fan of his, and I think it's a good time to talk about him because he is trying to come back into the news, into the spotlight here. We're talking Kanye. We're talking Ye. He recently dropped a new album, new collab. Definitely hearing about it being really bad. I don't know if any of y'all have watched this video here, but we'll watch the beginning of this with Anthony Fantano talking about Vultures One, Kanye West's new album.
This is completely unreviewable trash, and here's why. Question, what is even the purpose of a music review in the first place? I can say, at least in terms of my own intent, that when I do a music review, I hope to achieve a couple of things. One, give the viewer pause and cause them to think about why it is they do or don't like the piece of music or art that I'm doing an overview of. Or two, excite people to give the music that I'm talking about a try. Those are the two things I want to do. Problem, neither of those goals are possible in any scenario that involves reviewing this album. Newsflash, since 2022, Kanye has made it his mission to go full-on anti-Semite, spouting insane conspiracy theories, talking about how he loves Hitler, and
I feel like
at
we know
some
this
point,
already.
I think he realized
where is he talking about the album itself?
Opinion or voice. Something that on some level I think he's weirdly proud of, as on the very lyrics to
Oh wait, here. This is what.
closing,
Yeah, here we
not
go.
without help from someone who was willing to tell him no. But he spent this same period of time pushing away anybody who could possibly do that at this point. Especially his wife, who he has now replaced with somebody who he just like kind of parades around like she's a naked body with no personality,
I wanted
opinion,
to
or voice.
highlight this point
Something
here. One
that
moment.
on some level I think he's weirdly proud of, as on the very lyrics to this record, he calls her just a reference, which is maybe one of the grossest and most dehumanizing things Kanye has said about a woman on any of his songs, and it's being directed at his wife. So
I think that's about what that's like. That I just wanted to like get to this point here and show you that point. Like that's like, I was watching this and like I heard him say that. I heard Anthony Fantano say that this was the lyric, and I had to stop. I had to go back into the video and look where he highlights the lyric where he says that she's a reference, and I'm just like, dog, man, Kanye, what's up, dude? You are falling off. You are falling way off. Oh my god. So anyway, yeah, things have been going badly here. It's been chaos. The pre-rollout, apparently he's been doing this with Ty Dolla $ign. They spent a lot of 2023 working on this. Apparently they kept it out of the public eye because he spent a lot of time being really anti-Semitic. I mean, obviously he lost a lot of his partnerships with Adidas, Balenciaga, and CAA, his talent agency. He has a school, by the way. I don't know if you know this. He has Donda School, by the way. That's been going on the same time. Isn't that what? Let me look that up. Here we go. Donda School. Donda Academy. Yeah, here we go. It's an unaccredited Christian private school for pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, located in Simi Valley, California, United States. It was founded in 2022 by American rapper Kanye West. Apparently, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to just keep the school's location a secret and to not disclose the community members and stuff like that. Although apparently we have the address right here on Wikipedia, and it's right there on the Wikipedia page if you need to look it up. Yeah, fun stuff. So apparently they announced the album on October 23rd. Didn't get a release date properly. Released their first single, blah, blah, blah. Yeezy's back, all right. In early December, he put out a snippet of a song. There was a Nicki Minaj incident afterwards where he got into some sort of issue with her. What happened there again? I forget. I think they were just beefing, if I'm not mistaken. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, apparently Ozzy Osbourne got really mad at him. Oh, okay. I didn't know about this. Okay. Apparently Kanye West disregarded Ozzy Osbourne's wishes and sampled a 1983 live performance of Iron Man on the song Carnival without permission. Interesting. Apparently he also sampled Donna Summer's I Feel Love without permission. And then the album distributor Fuga apparently took it down. Or is in the process of taking it down. Interesting. Yeah, there it is. Here we go. Fuga wants to take it down. A long-standing Fuga client delivered the album through the platform's automated processes, violating our service agreement, apparently. That's what they're doing here. Plague Doctor says, so he can teach other kids to be anti-Semitic. Yeah. Donda Academy. I mean, Hey, you want to go and learn from Kanye at Donda Academy? Oh my God, this guy's a mess. He's all over the place. Don't listen to it. I've heard that it's a really bad album. It's really uncreative. It's not okay. Even for fans of Kanye's work, I hear that it's a really bad album. Like, it's not good. It's really lacking. The beats are off. The bars are off. Don't bother with it, folks. He has fallen off. It is not. Look, the only people still hanging on to Kanye's coattails and saying glazing him up, saying he's a great artist, are anti-Semites or people who are willfully ignorant. And that's where I'm at here. So, yep. That's the Kanye news for you. A little update on that. Let's see, where are we at on our current? We have a little bit more time until we get to our question and answer portion. So we'll see a few more news articles. There's one I wanted to highlight here in gaming news that was really, I hope get some steam behind it. So COD players have been suing Activision over accusations of esports monopoly, which is definitely true. I would definitely say it's true. Here we go. Top Call of Duty esports players sue Activision for $680 million in damages, alleging the publisher has an unlawful monopoly on the game's esports scene. Wait. Blake says, dude, I'm going to stick to my Terraria OST like a real Chad. That's so much better. I would just rather listen to that. I'd rather rap over that, you know? That's so much better. Oh, shit. Anyway, yeah, $680 million in damages what is it here? The league's owner, because they have a league, apparently. The lawsuit was filed by Hector H3CZ Rodriguez, leader of Call of Duty esports team Optic, and Seth Scump Abner, one of Call of Duty's best esports players. And this is being reported by PC Gamer. In a Los Angeles federal court on Thursday, the pair made the case that prior to 2019, the Call of Duty esports circuit includes leagues and tournaments hosted by multiple organizations, including GameStop and Major League Gaming, alongside Activision. But in 2019, the Activision took concerted and purposeful actions to control the Call of Duty esports scene in a manner that occurred without the collaboration of existing Call of Duty esports teams and players. Wow, yeah, not surprising. I mean, Activision Blizzard has taken its necrotic claws and then sunk them as deep as possible into any game IP that they possibly can. They are going to suck the life force out of these game series. Call of Duty isn't even relevant anymore. Let's be real. Who the fuck is playing Call of Duty these days besides just like fucking chuds? Nobody fucking gives a shit about this shit, but yet they are still pumping games out, and they are still slurping all the money out that they can out of these fucking this IP and any other IP that they have on hand. I mean, it's like Diablo, for example, or WoW. Activision, give our game souls back. No, they're never going to give them back. They have like a hamster wheel kind of situation where they have all of these game IPs just running, just channeling as much power as they can into Activision's bosom. Please give us a break, Activision. No, please. These players, they've been pumping so much fucking money into you. Please just give them a rest. No, you cannot. You must run. Keep running. This is par for the course. I mean, Activision is a bloated monster. Dude who plays COD other than teenagers with fucked up microphones. Yep, that's about it. That's the only other play. Like that, yep, it's just like that, or like just like awful people. Nobody plays COD. But anyway, even the COD players know that this shit's bullshit. Describing the nature of the action, lawsuit states the action arises from Activision's unlawful 100% monopoly over and agreements unlawfully restraining trade with respect to professional Call of Duty leagues and tournaments. As a result of its myriad anti-competitive actions, Activision now holds an unlawful 100% monopoly over that lucrative and once vibrant market. It adds that Activision has used that unlawful monopoly power to prevent would-be competitors from entering the market, as well as to coerce the market's other participants to acquiesce to extortionate financial terms. Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising. They apparently are charging hefty fees for competing in the CDL. 12 teams received a bill for $27.5 million apiece. Are you kidding me? This is a video game. This is a video game where people are supposed to compete for fun. And it's a $27.5 million bill to have a fucking team join the CDL to play. What the fuck? This is insane. This is insane. This is what happens when you have complete market control over a fucking segment here. Like, this is crazy. This is not how this should work. You should be able to have leagues. You should, like, fucking God. Like, this is like the fucking NFL or some shit. Like, they're just like crushing anything that might possibly compete against them. Like, God damn. One example, apparently Rodriguez claims he was forced into a financially devastating partnership to compete in the Call of Duty League, which involved him partnering with billionaire investors who Bloomberg Law reports demanded a 92.5% ownership share in his company. Billionaire investors requesting a 92.5% ownership share in a company that is dedicated to playing Call of Duty. What the fuck? This is insane. We live in a hellscape capitalist nightmare. This is a video game that is made to play for fun. This should not be happening. This is crazy. Blake says, fuck billionaires. Have you heard Bezos has a Bezos family compound? Oh, of course he has a compound. He probably has a compound for his servants. Let's be real. Like, he probably has like a compound for the servants at this point. Like, he probably has 20 compounds. I'm not like, come on. This is just I'm not at a loss for words at this point. I don't even know what else to say at this point. Like, people, like, 10 years ago, we just had like small scale, like low level, like come to this tournament and like play for like a small prize pool. Like instead now we have like these fucking gigantic, like horrible companies dropping like huge fucking boulders on people. Like, you can't even fucking go to like Nintendo doesn't even allow you to do fucking like Smash tournaments if you hit a certain amount, you know? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are we even bothering with this fucking esports league? I feel like people get sucked into this esports shit. Why are we even bothering? Fuck this. No, this is bullshit. We should be playing for fun. Fuck this shit. No, let's do our own tournaments. Let's never fucking play at any of these tournaments again. Fuck the prize pool. It shouldn't even be about money. It should be about the fun. It should be about the love of the game. It should be about the thrill of it. It should be about the skill. It should be about the skill. It's not about the money. It shouldn't be about the money. Oh, God, I feel like an old man here. I'm yelling at clouds. I need to move on. Let's do another story. What else do we got? More sad news from video games. I'm just going to get myself angry here. More sad news from video games. Embracer says it's looking out for shareholders after cutting more than 1,400 jobs. 1,400 talented video game developers and support personnel and video game members, working in the video game industry. Whoopsie. Got cut by Embracer, the Embracer group. And they say that it's to look out for shareholders. 1,400 jobs. Our ruling principle is to always maximize shareholder value in any given situation. That is bald-faced, by the way. I don't know if you can really read, like, some people might not be able to read through the lines here, but I feel like this is pretty obvious. Our overruling principle is to always maximize shareholder value in any given situation. This is every company's bottom line. They need to maximize shareholder value at any cost, whether or not that means cutting jobs, whether or not that means putting out a shitty product. Like, it does not matter what awful thing this company is going to do, as long as they get the value to their shareholders that they believe their shareholders deserve. Absolutely awful. 904 job cuts in the quarter 2, 485 job cuts in quarter 3, equating to 8% of its total headcount. Yum, the taste of late-stage capitalism tastes great. Doesn't it? Doesn't it, my friend? To boost its chance of hitting that goal, the goal being of making of achieving a net debt below $8 billion, is to pursue certain divestment process that could significantly reduce net debt. That means studio sales could be on the horizon, with Embracer claiming some negotiations are reaching mature stages. So they're selling off studios now. Awesome. Great. So what do you think is going to happen when they sell off a studio? Do you think that that studio is going to survive with the next company that it goes on to? Or do you think that company is going to strip it for parts, fire everybody that is on that company, and keep the IP for itself and maybe make some shit off of it and churn out some crap that they can make a quick buck off of? Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that's going to happen? I think that might happen personally, based on my experience with the game industry and what I've seen time and time again. When studios get fucking sold off, this is always what happens. They're just going to sell off studios, and those studios are going to fall apart. That is always what happens. Look at this. Embracer CEO says layoffs are something that everyone needs to get through. Fuck this guy. This guy's a punk ass bitch. I fucking hate this guy. Embracer CEO Lars Wingfors said that the current reduction in workforce at the company and across the industry is something that everyone needs to get through. Later adding that the group's strategy has been to cut things that have the lowest chance of success going forward and to only keep the most iconic studios. Ugh, God. I hate this company. I hate this company. I hate this industry, man. I cannot wait for the inevitable collapse of the AAA gaming market. I really, really cannot. I hope at one point soon the AAA gaming market collapses under its rotten fucking foundation. I hope it falls completely through. I hope every last fucking CEO dies in a fire. Fuck these guys and fuck the horse they rode in on. I hate them. I hate them all horribly. Like the talent. I'm just gonna go on a rant here, but I don't care. This is what this show is for me to rant about news and pop culture. Here's my rant, okay? You know what? There are so many goddamn beautiful, talented, wonderful people in the video game industry that have so many good ideas and so much talent, so much raw potential and ability. So many people love video games so much with like their whole heart, They love it so much. I love video games with my whole heart. There are people that would give hours, days of their lives, months, weeks, years of their life to make video games. There are people who forego seeing their families and their friends because they love making video games and they matter so much to them. The craft, the artistry, the ability, the ability to affect the lives of the people across the planet who play your video game and get involved in it. I mean, God, think about how satisfying it must be to work on a game that so many people like become invested in and build a fandom around. Like so many people fall in love with video games. Think about this. Like, what if you worked on Legend of Zelda? What if you got the chance to work on a Legend of Zelda game and you got to see all the beaming, shining faces of all those Switch owners who are playing fucking Breath of the Wild, and they're gliding down on their cute little glider, and they eat a fucking, I don't know, like bongo berry or whatever the fuck they've got in fucking Zelda, because I don't play Zelda, okay? And like fucking you get to make that for people and you get to share that joy with them, and they get to like talk about how much they love bongo berries, and you're like, I modeled the bongo berry. That was me. I did that, you know? Blake says, dude, I was going to start making games in college, but I decided the industry is too cutthroat to do what I love. So that was fun. It's true. You're right though. Like, I didn't go into school for it, and I mean that would have been cool to do, but like I'm not interested in being a part of the AAA game industry. I'm only going to work for myself and for other indie game developers, because fucking God, no. Have you seen like people like this is the contrast what I was just saying here, contrasting all the love and passion that these game developers put into their games, contrasting that the management for these companies are like liches. They are like necrotic, disgusting, like wicked liches that do everything in their power to capture the souls of their like players and the souls of their laborers and channel them into their phylactery so that they can continue to make like 0.1% more $1 million every year. Like they do everything that they can to pump as much psychic energy towards themselves to like channel their dark, wicked magics and maintain their horrible eldritch companies. These people are disgusting. They are awful. They crunch people. They fire people. They blacklist people. They sexually assault people. They push people to suicide. They do endless things. Like, fucking just look into Ubisoft's history and you'll see just how disgusting the video game industry can get on the management side. Like, this is my contrast here. There's so many wonderful people that want to make beautiful games and incredible art, and they don't get to because there are so many people just making it just impossible to do so. Blake says my next D&D villain's gonna have the stat sheet of a AAA game CEO. Hey, I mean, frankly, if you're gonna make a villain like that, you're not gonna fight the villain. You're not gonna fight the CEO. You're gonna fight everybody else around them that they're paying off. That CEO should have some weak stats, except for like charisma. Think about it. Okay, hang on. I'm just ranting even further here, but that's fine. This is just a tangential rant. Think about all the CEOs you know. How many of those CEOs do you think are going to have like top level stats? How many of them? None of them. Their only stat is having like max Riz, so they can convince people that they know what the fuck they're talking about. None of them have any real talent. None of these CEOs have any talent besides being a fucking parasite. That's it. That's all they're good at. They're only good at being a parasite, taking advantage of people, and making money in the most unethical way possible. Which, let me tell you, is the only way. Like, there's the only skill involved in doing that is the skill of shutting down your moral compass, and that's what these people have a skill at. Anybody with any fucking moral compass or any backbone or who even minorly cares about like the human condition or humans around them would never fucking do something like this, because it is literally the epitome of greed and disgusting antisocial self-interest. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm gonna stop there. That's enough. I said enough. I said my piece. Okay, I need a little drinky. Hang on. People treat CEOs like they're gods when they really just have a +13 in deception. Exactly. That's it. They just have like they've like min-max their charisma. They min-max their deception score, and yeah, and that's it. That's all they're good at. They're just really good at fucking fooling people, and then they get into a position where you can't eject them. That's it. They fool their way into a nice little barnacle position, and then they latch right on, and then they stick right on there, and then they never leave. Okay, enough of that. Let's move on. Oh boy, let's move on to our next section here in our final section of the show, where we do advice and advice questions. So let's hop on over there, shall we?
You've got questions, we've got answers. Tell them, Kahtide.
All right, babies, what's up? I like to close out the show with a segment called Questions with Kahtide. I take questions from the chat as well as anonymously submitted questions sent by the audience. If you'd like to submit a question, you can either spend your channel points or chips to submit your question live on Twitch during the show, or if you want to submit anonymously, you can send that question off through the Coffee with Kahtide Google form at any time. Remember, don't submit those bigoted or distasteful questions that I keep telling you not to, or you will face my wrath. And by wrath, I mean I'll delete the question and possibly ban you. So be nice. Other than that, feel free to ask just about any question you can think of, especially questions on advice, love, life, labor, etc. Ever done a backflip? Thank you for the redemption, my friend. I have never done... Well, actually, that's not true. Hang on. I've never done a backflip self-powered. I've done a backflip on a trampoline. Actually, no. That's not even true. I've never done a backflip. I've done front flip. I can do a front flip on a trampoline. That's about it. I hope that answers your question, Plague. All right. Well, we have some anonymous questions too, so I'm happy to answer a couple of those here. But if you have any other questions, do consider submitting them to the chat. I do appreciate that. Ever done the peak of gamer ability? Absolutely, the peak of gamer ability. Doing a cool front flip. Okay, here's one question we've got here in our anonymous inbox. We got a couple here waiting. Kahtide, I've got 3 roommates and I can't ever seem to get enough hot water. Same. I try to get my daily showers in, but at least a quarter of the time the water is cold. And of course, two of my roommates like to take 20+ minute showers or whole baths. What do I do? Okay, that's a tough one because I have that same problem all the time. I have a couple roommates at my house too, and it's always a struggle. I would say here's the solution. One solution is you could just move out. Just take showers with your roommates. Hey, good answer, Plague Doctor. That's a good answer. Take showers with your roommates. If you feel like you can get pretty intimate. You got maybe a little bit of kissy action in there. Or maybe if you're not so intimate, you could. Oh shit, we got an ad break. Sorry, folks, if you're watching the stream, there's the ad break. But you can subscribe to avoid it in the future. You probably already know that. Anyway, yeah. So the first option. Sorry, I'm burping. Oop. First option is you could be very flirty in the bathtub, in the shower. You could be not flirty in the shower and take showers together in your swim trunks. That would be fun. You could put your bathing suit on. Welcome back to the ad, everybody. I was just letting our anonymous question asker know you can probably either do a flirty shower. You could do a non-flirty shower in your bathing suit. But if you want to have an actual solution and not a silly solution, let's see here. You could try to change the time you take a shower. Some people prefer to take a shower in the morning, and some people prefer to take a shower in the evening. And if your roommates are one or the other, you could take showers on the opposite end of the time frame here. So if they take it in the evening, usually you take it in the night, in the morning. If they take it in the morning, you go in and take your shower at night. That's one way to get around it. You could also communicate with your roommates. You could be like, hey, I need to take a shower at this time. When are you all taking showers? Just so I know when I can expect hot water. That way hey, they're gonna take a bath at this time or take a shower at this time or whatever. I'm gonna wait till a certain point in my day to go forward. You could say, hey, your showers are too long. Hey, you're taking baths and that's draining all hot water. That's one way you could approach this. You could say that, maybe don't take such long showers. Maybe don't take baths all the time. Maybe do it once a month, You could, I don't know, upgrade your water heater. I mean, I don't know if you're renting, but maybe you could upgrade your water heater, get something a bit bigger, more capacity on that. That could be nice. I don't know what to tell you here. The last resort would be to move out, I guess. You could find your own place and have your own water heater with your own hot water. I mean, that's the optimal solution, I guess, if you could afford it. It's hey, sick, you've got your own water heater you can hug and love, and you can just sit in your hot shower for an hour if you want to. There you go. So there, yeah, that's the options. Bathe with your roommates, communicate with your roommates, or move out. Or upgrade your water heater. Hopefully that helps you. There you go. Question answered. Let's see here. Let me find another question and drink some water here. Oof. I've been talking a lot, so I'm parched now. Plague says, me and my roommate have been chilling together for a year, so we solved this immediately out of necessity. Oh, yeah? Well, if you have some tips and recommendations for our anonymous question asker, do let me know. But I do feel like it's a communication issue personally. You really just got to talk to your roommates and be like, hey, I'm not getting enough hot water. Can you work with me here to make this a little easier, please? I think it's only fair, I think anybody reasonable would understand where you're coming from. Nobody likes to be caught out with no hot water. So just be like, hey, what's up? Can you work with me here? But yeah, I mean, that's about it. I feel like any of these roommate situations really can be broken down into communicate what you need to the roommate. Plague says, I take him in the evening, they take it in the work in the morning. See, there you go. Exactly what I just said. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So just find your timing and figure out your timing and then take your shower around each other's schedules and be willing to be accommodating, and hopefully they'll be willing to be accommodating towards you. So there's your question answered, anonymous question asker. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's move on to our next one. I have a hard time taking criticism, even when it's constructive or given to me by people I care about. I don't want to be overly sensitive, but I really do feel hurt whenever people talk about me negative. What should I do? This is a good question. Thank you, anonymous question asker, for sending in a question for Questions with Kahtide. And just again, for everybody else out there, if you want to send in a question at any time, this will come into my anonymous question box. So check it out on the link tree. You can also submit a question here on the chat. If you submit it with channel points, just check out the chips down in the bottom left corner of your chat window. You should be able to submit a question there. All right. So for your question here, criticism is a tricky business, I'd say. Personally, I myself have been in places in my life, especially when I was younger, where I had a hard time taking criticism. I think it's something that you grow into, and it's something you kind of have to expose yourself to a lot. The thing is, I had many situations where I couldn't just walk away. I had to be stuck hearing the criticism, and I had to process it. And I think a lot of the times it can be easy to walk away from criticism and to not process it. And, there are things in our brain, I would say, that there are like, I would say that there are like organic programs in your brain. Let's say that. There are organic programs in your brain that are designed to maintain equilibrium and maintain stasis in your brain. So like when someone approaches you with criticism, they are introducing information that is contrary to your like stasis, to your organic program. Your organic program is designed to like reinforce you. It's to be like, okay, you're making the right choices. This is what we're doing the right thing. This is who we are. This is how I am. When someone criticizes you, they're throwing that into whack because they're like, I see you as this way. I see like the thing you're doing is doing this to me. This is how you're acting to me, and this is how I'm perceiving it. And so one side of it is like, okay, now I'm having to take in this information that's contrary to what I think of myself. That's one element. So that's already putting you out of whack. The other element is, this is criticism. This is like something I'm doing wrong. They think I'm doing something in a way that's not right, or maybe this isn't working for them. Something about this is like not fitting in well socially, or something like that. There's this like alarm bells are starting to go off in your head now, because it's like you've got this equilibrium that you're trying to maintain, and now somebody is approaching you here out of nowhere and saying, okay, you're not, this equilibrium isn't right. What you're doing here, this like baseline you've got isn't right for me. So I think that can really be upsetting, and it can really throw people off. Your organic programs that you build up in your mind are there to like help reinforce your identity and your structure. They're like there to like they I feel like they form naturally, because like over time you build up these ideas about yourself, and they form naturally over time, and having them criticized or having someone say something contrary can be really upsetting. I think it takes practice at a certain point. You have to have practice. Yeah, you got to practice yourself. You got to be like, okay, I'm going to step away. Like, here's what I did. I'll tell you what I did, and maybe it'll make sense for you. When I would get criticized, I had to practice stepping away mentally from the feeling of criticism. I would take it in. I would listen to what they would be saying, but I would actively, like, mentally will myself to step back, decide I'm not going to have an emotional reaction to this. I'm going to just step back, and I'm going to take it in. I'm going to take in what they're saying, and I'm going to listen. I will acknowledge it. I'm not even going to like, I'm not going to like, I'm just going to take it in. Like, I'm going to hear what they have to say. I'm going to say thank you for the criticism. I'm going to take that in, and I'm going to process that. That's what I would say. And I'm going to sit with the feelings that I'm feeling with it. I'm going to consider this person's perspective and why they're bringing this to my attention. I'm going to consider my own perspective and where I'm coming from and what I feel with regards to, what they're saying, how it sits with me, how I feel. Do they have any validity? Do I feel like this maybe has anything to connect to my life? Like, really examining the thought, the criticism itself from all angles, and then coming back to it and being like, okay, I took in your words. I appreciate your criticism. This is my thought on it. Maybe you don't agree with somebody's criticism. Taking in criticism doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with it or that you're going to act on it. That's one thing that people, I think, get confused about a lot, is that they think, oh, somebody said I'm like this and it's bad and I have to change my ways now. You don't have to. That's just what this other person thinks of you and like what they feel. You can make your own decisions about how you want to react to this criticism. Maybe you don't care about what they have to say. Maybe you're just going to keep doing what you're doing, and they just have to act how they're going to act. And at that point, maybe they don't want to hang out with you anymore, and that's just going to be the bridge you cross. But like, you make your own decisions based on what you feel about it, and then you come back to it. You know, like I get the sensitivity. I do. I really, really do. Like I still get sensitive personally. I am still personally, I can get sensitive with criticism because like I don't want to be somebody who gets criticized. I like being like I personally have like this strong desire to be really competent and like really caring for other people and like really socially engaged and like I when I feel like I get criticized, I feel like I'm failing other people. But I also have to realize that it's not a failure, and the fact that they're criticizing me is because they care. It's because they care about the situation, because they care about the friendship or the relationship. They want to make it like they want to make it right. You know, usually that's the case. I mean, if you have the benefit of the doubt for other people, usually if they're bringing a criticism to you, the reason is because they care and they want to change things. They want to improve the dynamic between you two. You know, so that's my take here, and I'm just going to let you know, you can't get through it. You just got to practice. You just got to step away, build a little bit of emotional distance. I'll leave you with like one last maybe like exercise you can do. My therapist used to tell me that if you have these feelings, one way to think about it is to build yourself a kind of mental shield, like a mental force field or bubble. And when you are taking criticism, you turn on your force field, like turn it on. Be like, okay, this is my emotional force field. I'm not going to let these emotions from somebody else influence how I'm feeling. I'm just going to take in the information, and I'm just going to let it get like let the info pass through and let the emotions bounce off. And I think that might help. If you just give that sort of visualization a try, it might work for you. So thank you, anonymous question asker, and thank you, Plague Doctor, for submitting another question to us. Appreciate it. Plague Doctor Man's questions is, dude, how do I deal with when someone is a dick to me and I explain it in a completely straightforward way and they continue doing it? That is a great question, Plague. Thank you so much for the question. Really do appreciate it. Great question. So yeah, I think okay. This is I mean, I would probably need a bit more context, and if you want to fill me in with a little context, that's great. You can definitely do that. But just off the top of my head, I would say that if you're dealing with someone who is a dick and you explain it to them and they continue to be a dick, then at that point you have to put your boundaries in place. That's the biggest thing I would say. Yeah, boundaries is paramount. So if they let's also use an example. Okay, someone's like pestering you and they won't stop pestering you, and you explain it to them why the pestering bothers you, and they continue to do it. That's where you have to be like, okay, I'm going to have a conversation with you, Mr. Pester. Listen, if you're going to continue to do this, this is going to be my boundary. If you do X, Y, Z, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to stop talking to you. I'm going to leave. I'm going to break up our friendship, etc., etc. It's really up to you what your limits are for what the boundary is going to be, but you need to establish it with this person. You got to be like, hey, you have been bothering me. I have made it very clear that this has been a problem. You have not been paying attention to what I've been saying. So this is my boundary. If you continue to do this, I'm not going to be a participant here anymore. I'm going to leave. I'm going to XYZ. You know, you set your boundary there for what your response is going to be. And then it's up to them. At that point, it's not your problem anymore. At that point, you've made it clear. You've given them the information. You've given them the consequences. They know what the consequences are going to be if they continue. And if they continue, there you go. You got your answer. You know what to do. You do the thing, and then go from there. You know, if it's like, hey, my boundary is, if you're going to bother me like this, I'm going to walk away, and I'm not going to engage in this conversation. Well, there you go. That's your response now. You told them what the consequences are going to be. If they continue to pester you, or mess with you, or be a dick to you, you say, okay, this is my boundary. I told you I don't accept this. I'm going to leave now. Plague says, because a close friend is continuously hurting me with the way they talk about my roommate and my disabilities, and they continue doing it. That sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh my God. That is definitely really frustrating. And it's even more frustrating when you hear it from a close friend. I'm really sorry to hear that, Plague. Definitely awful. Yeah, I think in this case, you got to make it clear. You got to be like, listen, I value our friendship a lot. I think that you're a really great person, but the way that you talk about my roommate, the way that you talk about my disabilities, it really bothers me. I have told you many times already that it is a problem for me. I feel like you have not heard me when I have said this. At this point, I feel like I need to place a boundary on our friendship. if you continue doing this, I'm going to XYZ, you know. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm going to leave the interaction if you're doing this. I'm going to stop hanging out with you as much. I'm going to, you know, whatever you feel like is the right thing to do. I obviously don't know your friend here and what the limits or boundaries are, but like, that's what you got to do. You got to be, and it's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be painful. It's going to be unpleasant for both of you, but you have to do it. It's important. Any good friendship has boundaries in it. It has boundaries. It does. Any good friendship has boundaries, and the friends in those boundaries respect each other's boundaries. That's a good friendship. You respect the other person's like limits and what they're willing to accept and what they're not willing to accept. That is part of being a friend. And if they're not willing to respect what's going on in your life and what you're willing to do and what you're willing to put up with, if they're not willing to respect your boundaries, then they're not demonstrating friendship, and they're not demonstrating a willingness to be your friend. And you have to make make that point there. Like, you're my friend. I care about you, but if you're not willing to demonstrate friendship for me, I can't be a friend for you here anymore. Plague says, thanks, man. That's really helpful. I've always been a people pleaser, but he's being a dick and it's not okay. Totally. Hey, yeah, you're super welcome. And I am the same way. I want to please people too. I want people to be happy. I hate when my actions cause sadness for other people, but you have to do it. I'm sorry. Like, causing sadness or pain for somebody has to, like, it's not always a negative, unfortunately. Like, it would be nice if it was a negative. Like, I would like, okay, let me collect my thoughts here. Inflicting pain on people isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes people need to feel the pain, the sting of like having failed somebody, to change their way. That is an unfortunate reality of our life, is that sometimes you have to feel that sting and realize, oh, I'm actually being a dick to my friend. They're telling me that I'm being a dick. I haven't been listening, and now this is the consequence of that. I need to change how I'm acting. Sometimes you need to have these consequences. You really, really do. And if you're not willing, like, as a person, if you're not willing to put those boundaries down and those consequences down, people are going to walk all over you, or they're not going to respect you, or they're going to treat you like shit. And not to say that, you know, like, that's deserved or anything. And I'm not necessarily, I don't really even know the situation here. I'm just like, in my own personal experience, that's how I've seen it play out. You know, like, they're going to walk all over you and they're going to treat you like shit. You got to stick up for yourself. You got to stick up for what you're willing to put up with. You got to put your boundaries down. You got to practice them. And it's hard. It's really hard. I'm still working on my boundaries too. You know, I sometimes let people get away with things that I normally wouldn't allow them to, because I'm you know, being a people pleaser or a nice guy, or my boundaries are weak. But I practice at it, and every day I feel like I get a little stronger with it. And at a certain point, you know, you're going to realize, like, hey, if they are not willing to accept me as I am, and what the person I am, and what I'm willing to like, what my boundaries are, what my willingness is here, like, you'll realize that they're not worth your time. You realize that they're not worth your time. They're not. At the end of the day, they're not. They're better people that are going to be more willing to respect your boundaries, that are more willing to be a participant in your life and to be your friend. And you're going to have a better time with them. So, yeah, don't even worry about it. Just tell them what your boundaries are. Tell them what you're willing to put up with. Tell them what the limits are and what the consequences are. And if they don't listen to you, there you go. You got your answer. And you can tell them straight up, hey, you answered this question for me. Especially because Plague says, especially because it's the fact that I'm hearing a childhood friend speak poorly about the person I live with and consider my closest friend. But he feels like because we were friends as kids, he will always be a friend, always be my friend no matter what. Yeah, no, that it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. You can't just lock in a friendship like early on and coast off of that. Friendships are a process, and they are a back and forth. They are a relationship. They are a shared, synergistic, mutual kind of machine. Not machine. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but like they're like a thing. They're like a you need to both people need to be putting in something into this friendship, and they both need to be putting in something that helps to feed the dynamic and feed the relationship so that it persists. And if you're not doing that, and if you're coasting on with your laurels, if you're coasting on what you put in 5-10 years ago, like that's not a friend. That's just an acquaintance. That's like that's someone that's been in your past. Like that's not a friendship. That's just a person that you know, that you've known for a long time. So tell him straight up, like, hey, stop talking about my friend like this. If you have any actual criticisms or anything that we actually need to talk about, like anything real, then I'm here to listen to you. But if you're just here to rag on my my friend, my other friend here, like that's not cool. I'm not interested, and I'm not gonna put up with it anymore. Just do that. Just be straight up. Be honest. Be straight up. Tell them what's up, and leave it in their court. It's at that point. That's what you're doing here at this point. Is you're putting the ball in their court. You are telling them, this is what I'm willing to do. Your decision is what you're going to follow. Like, it's your decision now what to do. Your decision is how you're going to respond to my boundary. Also, just to everyone out there, don't talk shit about people's roommate's partner unless they are genuinely in danger of like abuse or something. It's not cool. Yeah, no, don't do that. Like, I mean, I think, okay, here's my take. If you can, like, if there's like an actual problem going on, I think have a serious one-on-one conversation. You know, be respectful. Just tell them what's going on with you, but don't be like talking shit. Don't be out there like fucking around with people and like spreading goss and drama and shit like that. Just be chill. Be chill. Be normal. I hope that answers your question, Plague. Sorry to hear that you're dealing with that, but hopefully the advice helps. And let me know what's going on with that too. I wanna hear how that turns out, because I'm rooting for you, friend. We got time for one more question before we're finished here on the show, and I've got one more anonymous question, and it's a fun one. Kahtide, I'm car shopping. What kind of car should I get? This is so weird because I'm also car shopping right now. I just got like pre-approved for my loan, so I'm gonna go looking for cars here next week. I don't know, man. I'm like, here's what I'm looking for. Probably like a hatchback or maybe a small truck. Maybe like a station wagon. That's kind of the angle I'm looking for right now. Is I really want like a daily driver, like a hauler, something I can haul shit in. Probably a good car. Yeah, that's probably a good car. I mean, I'm looking for something fairly inexpensive, but like I'm not one of those guys looking for cars that are like, oh, so fancy or something like that. I'm a utilitarian when it comes to vehicles. So if it can drive, if it looks like it's in good condition, if I'm not going to have to take it into the shop like a month from now after buying it, if it can haul some stuff for me, that's what I want. You know, like I want like, oh God, you know what my dream car would be? Like a nice little shorty Datsun truck. Can I look that up? I'm going to look that up here. I'm going to like find a good picture for us here of like the classic Datsun truck that I would love to drive. Oh yes. Oh my God. It's on Wikipedia. Oh my God. Here. I'm gonna show you. Oh my God. If I could drive something like this, like a nice little mid-sized truck with a nice little cab in the back. Oh, those nice boxy lines. Oh, that leather interior. Oh, the goldenrod color. Oh my God. This is a beautiful truck. Something like this would be very nice. But anything, you know, I'm not really picky. I just need something that can carry some stuff for me. You know, I'm kind of sick of like not having space. Like I had a hatchback and that had a lot of space, but I wanted like an open air kind of cab open air kind of a truck bed. Cause like I want to like haul bigger things if I need to. Like I want to haul big stuff. Cause so many times I'm just like, oh, I gotta haul some trash to the dump and I don't have a thing to haul it in. Plague says, dude, it's like I'm a special guest because I'm the only one talking in chat. Hey, you know, it's fine. Sometimes the stream is busy, sometimes it's not busy. Whatever. It's fine. I do this for I do the Coffee with Kahtide stream, one, to learn about news so I can keep track of the news. And two, to keep track of pop culture, because I don't do either of those very well. So this is mostly for that. It's how streaming works, I get it. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Like, some people like the just chatting, some people like the gaming. I mean, hey, if you want to help get more people on the stream and more chatters in there, you know what to do. Go find some friends and bring them in on the stream. That's always welcome. But yeah, got me. Yeah. But anyway, that's my recommendation. Get something fun like that. Get a 1980 Datsun pickup. That's my recommendation for you chatter. Anyway, I think we'll wrap up the show for now. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. I know it was a bit of a slower show, but not a big deal. We'll be doing some more gaming, probably more Terraria next week. So if you like that Terraria action, go check it out. We'll be doing it next week at noon. Maybe more Coffee with Kahtide. Maybe we'll do a double feature on the old whatchamacallit, on the old Terraria. I've been considering maybe doing Coffee with Kahtide more of like once every other week, because I just wanted to try it out as a segment. It's a good segment, but I feel like it might be good to do it like once every other week instead. Just catch up on kind of like some big news items and stuff. It was awesome. Thank you, Plague. I appreciate it. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like me to stream, if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see, any recommendations for videos, because I haven't made a video recently, at least not since what was like a month ago when I made my last Gmod video. If you haven't checked it out. Yeah, that was like December 29th was when that came out. So that's actually been a month and a half at this point. So might be good to do another video here soon. But yeah, check it out. It'll be a good time. Don't worry. We'll have fun. See you next week. Bye, everybody.